Bounce with the rhythm, bounce with the rhythm. I said bounce, 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 bounce. I said bounce.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Stadium Mustard and Cincinnati Chili Show. That's Troy Current over there, and I'm John Suchan. Welcome aboard. Troy, how are you on this splendid Wednesday night?
Wednesday night, we were feeling great. I was watching a little bit of the NBA Finals before coming on.
Oh yeah,
So that was a cool.
I thought they would.
Um,
I thought they would stop playing basketball once the Cavs lost.
I thought that's how that works too, but apparently there's this Victor Wembanyama that's trying to win an NBA championship or something.
You mean the 8 foot ginormous giant?
He made one play in the first quarter, where there's a New York Knick that was like driving behind him and trying to like on a fast break, trying to like get him to go one way or the other. And
Yeah.
Josh Hart, the New York Knick, like kind of had him faked out, fake to the left, and Wembanyama looked to his left, and then he went back to his right. And even still, like Victor going to his left, even in the paint of Josh Hart trying to go for a layup, he
Yeah.
still reached around with his right hand and blocked it from like the opposite side of the block. It was disgusting.
Is the game in New York?
No, it's in San Antonio for the
Okay.
first two games. Is that right?
So they must have had
do
the
two or
higher
two?
seed.
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think the Spurs were the one seed in the West, and then I think the Knicks were not the one seed in the East. I thought were the Pistons the one seed.
Yes.
So yeah, they must have been.
People forget that the Cavs beat the Pistons. They also beat the Toronto Raptors, but everybody was disgusted at the end of that when they got swept by the
I
New
just
York
realized why I look like a
Knickerbockers.
giant.
Why do you look like a giant? Oh, did you have your phone sideways?
There we go.
Is that
I had the arm not extended.
Oh,
So it looked like I was like looking down on you. But
hey,
now, okay,
if people are
better.
watching us tonight, thanks for watching us on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and the X Live. We're actually on Facebook, so some of our friends might be watching this. But tell everybody about your hat tonight, because Troy wears all sorts of crazy hats.
So this is the Lake Erie Moon Mammoths. You can see it there on the back here, Moon Mammoths.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at there you go.
So this was I don't know if you are familiar with John Oliver, the late night host. I think he's on HBO. Is that right? I don't remember.
Okay, yeah, a little bit.
Kind of like the British guy that does it.
Yes.
He did I don't know if I don't want to call it a competition, but he tried to find an American team that had nothing to do with the area that they were in. And he wanted to recreate a mascot for them, and so he went with the Lake Erie Seawolves.
Yes,
there's no sea near Lake Erie, and so that's what he went with, I guess. And this is what they voted on: this purple, crazy mammoth dinosaur-looking thing.
I love.
So I had to buy it.
Last week or 2 weeks ago when we had our show, we were talking about hats, and Troy had the opportunity, because he's the collector of all things, and he's always going to this Mexican restaurant up the street called El Vaquero. Shout out to El Vaquero. If you want to sponsor our podcast here on the Fanatical Elves and the Stadium Mustard and Cincinnati Chili Show, we'd love that. Maybe, Troy, you should do that the next time you go in. But see, the last time he went into the store, he knows the manager, and he happened to notice some hats, and he wears lots of hats. So he mentioned this hat to the manager, and the manager was going to have him pay for the hat. But then miraculously, he gave you the hat for free.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, I like your hat. Every time I see you, you got a cool hat on. Let's add to your collection." And I said, "Sounds great."
Your counterpart, your co-host here, decided to go to El Vaquero last week with my beautiful wife Laura. And on my way out, I noted where the hats were when I walked in, because I wanted to see where they were. And so as we were getting ready to leave, I talked to our waitress, and she got the manager to come up, and I I shared parts of your story and I shared your name and
Yeah.
how and prior to saying this, I said, how much are the hats? He says, $20. So then I was like, okay. And then I mentioned the story. And at the end of the story, he says, $20. And on my way out, my wife's like, you were trying to get a free hat out of that. Damn straight I was.
Like, yeah, the best hat is a free hat, John.
Uh, well, I'm very happy you get the hat. And you get see now I talked to my son last night, Alec, up in Michigan. I told you this story earlier, Troy, that he is actually working the minor league games up there in Grand Rapids for the West Michigan
Whitecaps.
Whitecaps. Thank
Yeah.
you. And he is doing the radio, the not the radio. He's doing the camera work. He was on the third baseline last night, right next to the dugout. And so I asked Alec. I said, "Well, hey, should I get some? Should I get a ball cap?" He's like, "Nah, don't waste your time. Don't waste your money, Dad. I'm only going to be there, a handful of times." I said, "Well, I like to wear hats." He says, "I know, but now, do you have their hat?
um,
You have so many hats."
I don't think I have a whitecap hat.
Okay.
Trying to think. I have some. No, it's not Whitecaps. It's a different team. I don't have a Whitecap hat.
Okay. Well,
I've
anyway,
looked at them though.
I just, I was really heartbroken and slightly buzzed when I left the El Vaquero.
They're a little heavy on the
Yeah.
margaritas there.
Oh, dude, they like okay, El Vaquero. And we're giving you shout outs. So please listen or somebody share this. Troy, tell them we talked about them. But their
100%.
their menu items, their food items are just out of this world. They are out of this world.
They're so
Um,
good.
right? From the drinks, which are strong and sweet and strong,
Hmm.
to to they have this thing. It's called that corn in the cob rib thing. Have you seen that?
I've seen them. I haven't tried them, but like
Oh,
the Mexican street corn's so good. So I can't
we
imagine that
tried
that
them.
would be bad.
We
Oh
tried
yeah,
them,
yeah.
and they literally, it's the slots of corn. They
Hmm.
somehow cut the corn cob up, and they
Oh.
fry the corn up in this sweet but delicious batter that's topped off with this gooey, cheesy
Mm.
sauce
That sounds real
that
good.
you're gonna get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
They're gonna be sticking, and along with this sticky sweet drink you're having, it's quite the combo. You're not gonna necessarily feel fantastic when you walk out, probably. But they do have a plethora of great food items.
Oh yeah, and their staff is awesome. I feel like it's got to be that one in particular has got to be like a family or two because it's always the same people in there. It's been the same people.
Yeah.
I don't know for 5 or 6 years now. Even during COVID, it was the same group because we would go there and get takeout and all of that kind of stuff, and it was awesome. And like I said, like the staff every time we go in, even though like we really don't go in very often, but every time they're like super good with the kids. They like joke around with them and all of that kind of stuff. So they've got it going on over there for
They
sure with
serve their
the
food
staff and
so
food.
so quickly too. That
Hmm.
the turnaround is just it's crazy how
Yeah.
we it was so quick last time. We thought they were confused and were bringing out the wrong items to us because they came out so quickly. We were like, we literally just got our drinks and they bringing out the food and we're like, that was like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
they're good. They're good establishment over there at El Vaquero.
all right. So I have this story I also want to share with you. Troy and I, we were at a training earlier today because we're educators, and that's what we do because we care about the kids.
We care. We
So
care. After today, we care a whole lot
yeah,
because
so the
that
state, just to
was
give people a background a little bit too, I think this
oof.
is interesting. State of Ohio, just give you a sense. Ohio is trying to do a lot of things, especially with their legislature. And they're trying to have us educators and especially school counselors do this additional training for things that are, students that go into things like trades and apprenticeships. And so that's what this was. And it's Columbus and Central Ohio is a really a huge uh, base where all of this is happening. The growth is just there's so many opportunities for these kids. I mean, I know that you were really taken aback by this training earlier today.
I was enthralled. I was engaged in finding memes and gifs to share to our colleagues about how much I was enjoying the
I wondered
training.
what you were doing back there with your phone, but like, let's not let anybody.
It was not taking notes on the things that were being presented to us. I can just put it that way.
All right. So my short story, though, we'll skip ahead 4 hours into the training. Well, it didn't
Oof.
quite last 4 hours. Troy made Troy, at 9:30. The training started at 8. Troy decides to make up an excuse by by letting the rest of the group know that somehow his wife's uh, wallet was left in the vehicle. Great story, and
It was
so that he
it was
would have
not
to
a good
leave
time.
early.
It was not a good time. The wife was not happy.
But now forward ahead a couple out more hours right before we're leaving. We're in this. They give us a tour of the different facilities and of the different places where these people are being trained. And we went into this one room. I was explaining this to my wife, and I think you might remember this, but I find it funny. This is like a social experiment when you study people. And I know this is a sports podcast, but I thought it was hilarious when we're in this one room. They have all these different things, and we're listening to this guy talk about what's in the room. And it's just imagine being in any room, and there's a group of people on one side of the room. There's another group on the other side of the room. There's some of us in the back side of the room. There's also these um, le- there's spaces to walk in between where these how would you this what would you
like
call those,
like a workbench kind of
like a
thing.
workbench thing. So we're all
Yeah.
standing there for like 5 minutes, and we're getting ready to leave. And it's just hilarious because I'm standing next to you, Troy, and there's a whole like there's a walkway right in front of me all the way to the door, just straight ahead. And I think it's a study in human and how humans react and what we're so prone to do and follow the leader, everything that we've been doing since we were a little kid. And it was hilarious to me because basically when the guy stopped talking, people started leaving the room. The people on the far right started naturally walking toward him, and the people around the perimeter of the room kind of followed Troy and everybody else around the room, and I just went right down the middle of where it was right there. We got from point A to point B, and you looked over to me like, oh, I went to, and I think I said, hey, I'm just going right down the middle. I'm like, it was hilarious to me that I'm just doing what there was space. Like, let's go that way, but everybody else decided to follow in a line. I just thought it was hilarious.
Well, my problem was is I was in the middle of a joke with the person standing next to me
So you were,
because the guy, so in there they said something about twerk, like
yes.
like, and then he also said something about like we don't want to bring a fire. And so then I look at the person next to me who's a former colleague of mine, and we were like, yeah, you can't bring any twerking to the fire. And we just kept it was the only way to entertain ourselves because that was. Thank you to IBEW for the great things that they do for the people in our community, but
What does that
four
stand
hours
for?
of
What is
that
the
for
IB?
us.
IB? What did it stood for? IBW.
um International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, I think, is what
Got
it
it.
stands
And they
for.
have a
I
trade. It's
think.
called the Electrical Trade School or whatever. I think that
Yeah,
one was. There
yeah,
was an
like our
apprenticeship.
electrical trades. Like,
Anyway,
I
all right.
mean, our career center has that kind of stuff too, and they call it like electrical trades and that kind of stuff too. But like,
So if you're
I,
still watching us, even after all these crazy stories over the last 15 minutes, I appreciate you staying with us. Um,
you know our pain now in a short 15-minute stint where we had
well,
to spend
even the
4 hours doing
the
it.
more the
John, let's
pain
just do
is when
4 hours on this.
you're sitting there and you're listening to these people talk about the jobs and what I mean. It's amazing stuff with the opportunity they're giving young people, it's just to us who are lifelong educators to sit in a room where they're for 3 hours talking about how you can make three times as much money as all of us who are sitting in the room. It's difficult to. I chose the wrong profession, didn't I?
I just I get their point in them wanting to tell us that, but like it just kind of feels like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
And then it's like, hey, but your kids could do this, and I'm like,
Can't I turn back the clock? I mean, I can. I
yeah.
can.
And then the part where they started talking about like their pension plan and all this kind of stuff, I'm like, I
Oh,
don't want to
right.
hear about somebody
That
else's
was
retirement plan. What
that
what
was
are we
the.
talking
I
about?
now I got the best. I thought the best part of the whole thing was the one dude who came in and spoke to us for like 30 minutes. The guy that worked at Anheuser Busch,
Oh yeah.
and he was classic. I mean, he was telling us stories
I
and
I
cussing and
sent
everything. It was
I sent a text to my former colleague who was sitting next to me, and I said, in the hour and a half that we have been here, what have you learned? And she said, doing air filtering in Anheuser-Busch's building is just as important as doing air filtration for a heart surgery hospital. And I said, exactly. That is exactly what we got out of this. Nothing else.
all I
This
could think about
is
when they were doing the heart
wild.
surgery thing. I'm sorry, I had visions of Seinfeld.
I
And the mints and the. Do you remember that episode where?
oh,
And
there was at one point one of our colleagues sent me a text and was like, what is this guy still doing here? He was one of like the presenters. He was the only one that stayed. Everybody else bailed like an hour and a half in.
yes,
And she sent that text of like, why is so and so here? And I said, why are any of us out here at this point? I like, and even when I talked to Mickey about it last night, she said, you're going to what? And I said, yeah, we're going to a skill trades presentation. And she said, for what reason? And
to
I
be
said, well, the state told us that we had to for our licensure.
yes.
Otherwise, you wouldn't find me dead in this training. I
Yeah, it's a very interesting twist. The state of
like
Ohio
the
is
hoops we
requiring
have to jump through is crazy.
counselors to do this, which we did today for 4 hours. We listened to stories about Anheuser-Busch and um, right, all sorts of things. No, I mean, I think there's a lot there, and I appreciate them taking. I mean, the one guy came out earlier, and he said that he used words like was it prudence or what was the word he kept using at the beginning?
I
Um,
don't even know. Oh, what was the word he used
I
to
mean,
like
he
thank
was
us or whatever?
yeah.
It was so
Anyway,
impactful, John. We know the word that he used to thank us. I
well, he paused. The
oh
thing too was it was really emotional for him. Like the beginning of that speech, I didn't know. Like he said, I just want a minute of your time, and it ended up being 20 minutes, and that's fine. We'll drink our coffee and we'll have the free food that they provided, which was very nice of them. So thank you to the state of Ohio, probably for flipping the bill for that. Anyway, all right,
great.
let's move
I love
on.
I love coffee, John, so that meant a lot to
let's
me.
let's pause for a quick commercial break here on the Fanatical Elves Network, part of we're the Stadium Mustard and Cincinnati Chili Show. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about Miles Garrett. Stay tuned. Hey, we are back here. Stadium Mustard, Cincinnati Chili Show, and if you've stuck with us for the first 20 minutes of this show, we appreciate you. Thank you, Lord, for sticking around. You are loyal and committed fans because we're talking about a bunch of nothing right now. So,
Hey,
uh,
welcome to the 4 hours that
yeah,
we spent this morning.
yeah.
We condensed it down to 20 minutes for you guys. Congratulations.
I still didn't get a free hat out of any of this. By the way,
Hey, you got a bag though.
Amber's son was a good. That's a cool. The bags they gave us were cool.
I was hoping there would be stuff in it, but
Yeah. Are you gonna use that bag like a
it's sitting in
shoulder?
my office.
Okay. Along with. Hey, the World Cup is coming up.
Yes.
Are you? I know you. Troy covers this a little bit with on social media. So do you want to tell
Hmm.
folks what you do?
So basically, the past couple of World Cups, I've written like one paragraph little write ups of things to look for in the games, and different aspects of matchups and those kind of things. Once it gets so the World Cup is a group of teams, four teams play each other.
Mhm,
Top two teams, maybe top three teams, move on to the
mhm,
next round of the World Cup. So in those group games, I will briefly touch on a couple of things, but then I get more in depth as the World Cup moves on to the elimination rounds and those kind of things. So just something cool that I like to do.
mhm,
Include the country flag in the posts
mhm.
just to I don't know, flags are kind of cool, so I like to kind of highlight those and all of that. So I'm looking forward to doing that here in the next couple of weeks.
My son, follows the World Cup. Does a lot of. He works YouTube, does videos, and all of this. He and I were talking last night, and we're going to be in Florida that week right after the 4th of July. And he's already looked at the World Cup schedule, and he was saying on his return flight on that Saturday, July 11th, he was debating on trying to come back early or later, but he was saying that there's a quarterfinal game later that evening that could potentially have two powerhouse teams and players. I think Ronaldo and somebody
Mm.
else potentially. So he was trying to plan his
My cousin and I talked a little bit about
yeah.
trying to get down to Atlanta, but
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It would have been different. We were hoping that when we were planning this, that Columbus would get some kind of game.
Where are the games? They're
But
in Atlanta, Kansas City. Did Kansas City
uh,
get
I don't know if Kansas City. I know L.A., Atlanta, Mexico City,
Toronto?
Toronto. Which that is for the World Cup. That's highly unusual. Typically, it is in one country and it is spread across a bunch of different places. So having it hosted technically by three different countries is a much different environment for the World
Yeah.
Cup. And it's going to involve a lot more travel for the teams, which it is what it is. But
Mm.
yeah, I think New York, Atlanta, LA, I want to say Dallas has
Okay.
has a spot. So they're pretty spread out even in the states of
Mm.
where the games will be and stuff. But
Okay.
the cool thing is like when they do these games, the countries that participate pick different areas of the country to stay in.
Okay.
So like Ecuador, the Ecuadorian team is in Columbus right now,
Oh, okay.
training with the Columbus Crew facilities and those kind of things. So and there's like a couple of different other countries that are at like colleges and universities throughout the states, using their facilities and
Uh-huh.
that kind of stuff too. So cool opportunity for those folks who are around there,
Yeah.
to see some different countries come in and participate in this and do their thing with the trainings and stuff.
Cool. So Miles Garrett isn't a soccer player.
He is not.
He's now in Hollywood as he was traded by the
Sounds
Brownies.
great. Love it.
So
Get him out of the
You're a
division.
Bungles fan. You're feeling good tonight.
Hey, our offensive line just looks a little bit better tonight. we
Well, God,
don't
the
have to.
last time we saw them play, I mean, the entire that last game in Cincinnati, the entire game they went away from Miles, which most teams do these days. They plan their whole game plan against the opposite wherever Miles is at. So Miles gets traded. It was a little bit of a surprise, a little bit of a gut punch to a lot of people that aren't Bengals fans or Steeler fans or Ravens fans. What's your takeaway from all of this and Miles?
Um, I mean, and in some of the stuff that I've read, I mean, it makes sense for the Browns to move on.
Mhm.
It's
Did you
crazy
read
to
my
say
article
that.
I sent you?
I did.
Oh, you
Um,
you
but
really did. Wow.
I think them going younger makes sense,
Right.
and you're only going to get so much value for him in the near future.
Right.
Like holding on to him for a couple more years is just going to degrade what you get back for him.
Right.
And so like it makes sense in the long term. I think in the short term, I understand the fans' frustration.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean the return you got for him was pretty decent. I don't remember how long do you guys have Verse in control for? Is it like a couple of years or just 1 year?
This year, and
Oh,
then
okay.
in this summer he'll be up for his next thing. He was
Gotcha.
interviewed today amongst the media, and he participated at the practice, and he said a lot of good things. He said he was disappointed up front, which is good. I think he's a very he talks a lot. I think he's a motor mouth. I think when he was in with the Rams, the coaches had to kind of get him to calm down a little bit and
Mm.
lower his motor somewhat. But it is what it is. Like you said, I mean, and what I already expressed and what I wrote, it was 9 years, and he also had a lot of stuff that people, there's I don't think there are a lot of heartbroken people out there, especially Browns fans. We're disappointed, but I think we all saw this coming.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people thought it was going to happen a year ago. I mean,
Hmm.
for God's sakes, he was demanding a trade the week of the Super Bowl. He was going around any media outlet telling them, "I want out of Cleveland." Do you remember that? That was part of what
Oh yeah, yeah,
happened a year ago. And
yeah.
there was all this other stuff, the speeding tickets. He almost lost his life. He had a terrible car accident a couple years back where he rolled his car
He's just trying
over.
to get out of Amish country real fast, John. He didn't
Well,
like the
shoot.
horses.
I mean, it's a very, and I mentioned it in the article, and I've always talked about this, but it goes back to, I mean, him losing his shit when he, was in the game against the Steelers and Mason Rudolph back in 2019. I was at that game. I literally had walked out moments before that because the Browns were going to win the game, and I didn't stick around, and he was still in there, and then all of a sudden you start hearing about what he had done, and I was shocked, like a lot of people, because he was such he's an interesting person.
Yeah.
He's a scholar, and he has a lot of other things. And I never thought, even when we drafted him, that like football was like the number one thing on his mind all the time. Like
Yeah.
I imagine him doing a lot of other things once he finishes his football career.
Well, and the doors are open out in LA now, right? I mean, he's going to
Right.
have all of those crazy opportunities around Hollywood and all of that. So,
Exactly.
and I don't know. Um, I think in Ohio, in the different areas, like we want to hold on to the best player on the team for as long as possible, at the detriment sometimes of the team that we're rooting for.
Hmm.
And so I think this is the one time that somebody actually pulled the trigger and got him off of your guys' books and got something in return for it. I mean,
Hmm.
what is it? A first round this year, second round next year, and a third round the year after?
Correct.
I mean, that's a pretty big get, especially I feel like the Browns have done well in the draft. It's just now a lot of young players that have to step up and do things that they were drafted to do. So
Hmm.
I feel like you guys have done a good job in the draft. I feel like we're still trying to figure out our way in the draft.
Hmm.
The Bengals have done some questionable things in the draft. I mean, not having a first round pick this year, kind of crazy. But I mean,
Hmm.
getting Dexter Lawrence is the trade off that you have there.
Hmm.
But hopefully that gets us into a place where I saw Jamar Chase the other day say, like,
Hmm.
yeah, the pressure's on us now. Like we've got a defense that can contend.
Hmm.
We've got to put our money where our mouth is and bring up the offensive ability. And so hopefully that's a sign to the team like, hey, we're willing to make moves. Now
Hmm.
you guys got to do something with it. So
Hmm. Yeah. I agree. All of that. I think it's going to be a shift, and like you already mentioned too, like with the young, they've hit on some drafts, and I think like in your regard with the Bengals, I mean they have had a lot of pressure to win, and they got to the Super Bowl, and I don't know, I don't think Joe Burrow is going to stay healthy. I can't see it.
yeah, but we're gonna go wacko for Flacco. in
in
weeks. Burrow's going to get hurt in week 6. He's going to be down for 7, 8, 9, 10, and we're gonna go 4-0 with Wacko for Flacco.
Wacko. Is that where have you heard that? Is that a new thing that they're that's just
I've heard.
fun?
I feel like I've heard that since he's been in Baltimore. I feel like they were
Oh,
always talking about that great with his last crazy
well,
last name.
well, I was listening. I was listening to we've talked Mike and Timmy, the
Hmm.
common man and Timmy
Hmm.
earlier this on the ride home. The reason I you mentioned Baltimore. That's why I'm bringing this up. I don't know why, because they were talking about Baltimore, and I
Hmm.
just but they were talking about how his wife was um fell. I think it was Timmy's wife fell. They were like outside Camden Yards, and she ended up like discombobulated. I mean, her whole knee was like
No,
crushed.
no.
So somehow, anyway, he was talking about how there was a Starbucks like right at the corner, and it's not Baltimore and where that stadium. It's not the best part of town, and so they had to wait a while, but finally the ambulance showed up, but it was going to be a bit. And so Timmy was saying how he was trying to gauge if he should go over to the Starbucks and get something to drink. I think he actually did because Common Man was giving me a lot of crap about it. But
That's awesome.
um, okay, so let's move on and talk a little bit about baseball a little bit here. Your Cincinnati Reds are doing pretty good, and we this is
Mm,
a food show a little bit. We're
are
talking
they? They're not doing
baseball.
great, John. They're in last
Now
place in
your
the
guy
Central.
that won, he won yesterday. What's his face? Your pitcher.
Ashcraft or whatever, or no, Abbott.
I have him on my fantasy league baseball team, so thank you to him.
Yeah, that was a walk off 10th inning win last night.
Now, and I think I told you I got tickets to go to the Reds game in the nosebleed section,
Hmm.
but my guy's got a plan. So I hope the Reds people aren't listening. But
I mean, Ellie De La Cruz is out for a little bit, so in now even and I said there will be less. There will not be a full house there when you go, so there will be movement available. And
okay,
if the Ellie De La Cruz is also hurt when you go, there's
how
gonna be
long will he
even
be
more.
out? What's wrong with him?
They put him on the 10-day DL. He in the game, was it yesterday?
Okay,
Oh God, was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. No, it would have been the day before. I don't know, hit a line drive in the between the right field and center field gap. Um,
mm-hmm.
Pulled into first base and started grabbing at his hamstring. So
Uh oh. Okay,
they Tito said that it's that he felt like he stopped it before it got bad, like he slowed down and
yeah.
was able to like hold it before it like tore or anything.
Hmm.
But
Oh,
I
I
haven't
see.
heard anything about MRI or anything to confirm or whatever he did. So
See, Tito being there is interesting for us Cleveland fans because he was in Cleveland for a long, long time.
and there are some Reds fans who are not very happy with him right now.
Yeah.
But I think the angst is pointed in the wrong direction because our
Okay.
GM and our ownership of the Cincinnati Reds
Suck.
sucks. They are terrible. They uh, they get a few good players and then they try to be as stingy as possible to build around them in the cheapest way possible so they can make their money.
Right.
Um, and so then when you have an Ellie De La Cruz go down, when you have a Hunter Green go down, and you have your closer go down, you don't have anybody to backfill.
Right.
I think I saw there's a beat writer. I don't know if you'd call him a beat writer, but he's a radio host for 700 WLW down in Cincinnati. Lance McAllister, awesome, does great work.
Yeah.
But he notated that the bullpen arms that they brought up from Louisville to fill the roles and where they have had issues,
Hmm.
all of them that they have brought up from Louisville, our minor league organization, has had a 4.0 ERA or higher down in Louisville before we brought them up to major leagues.
Hmm.
Like
Okay.
we don't have anything to bring up of substance to help the team when injuries that happen to every team every season. we don't have the firepower down in our farm system to be able to overcome or even maintain the status quo of what our regular um, team can
Hmm.
do. And so
Yeah.
then you factor in the fact that the NL Central is like the best division in baseball right now, and everybody's above 500. And here we are as the Cincinnati Reds, 2 games under 500, and we're 5 games back from first place.
You're in a tough division. I mean, everybody. It's tough in that division every year.
It's
I mean,
crazy. It's crazy every year. Like somebody surprises every year. The
hmm
Brewers last year, the
who is it
Cardinals
this
this
year?
year, the
Cardinals are
Cardinals.
doing.
Yeah.
Cardinals are on top of you. I'm telling you that
Actually, are they on top? I think they are on
I
top right now.
I know I've talked about this before, but have you been to St. Louis to a game?
Mm-mm, I haven't.
You really need to make that a baseball trip at some point. I bet Mickey and
Is
the
it
kids would
called? Is
like.
it still called Bush Stadium
I think
out
I don't
there?
know. I call it that. Sure,
Yeah. I mean, I would love to. I would
that's
hate
a
to be there
baseball
because
town.
I hate the Cardinals.
Well, that's true,
Maybe
but
maybe
it's
I
a
can get
great
Carrie.
city.
Maybe I can get Carrie Nixon to go out there with me, and
Yeah,
we can rivalry it out there.
I,
He's a big Cardinals fan.
he is a big Cardinals fan. Yeah.
I like him. I still like him. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever
Oh,
met.
really one of the nicest people. Sure.
But the fact that he's a Cardinals fan, just every time I think about it, it hurts my heart. Like, why are you doing that to yourself, Carrie?
So they're playing. Cincinnati's been playing the Kansas City,
Yep,
and
Kansas City
yeah,
Royals
yeah,
in Cincinnati, and then we're out in New York. I know you're going to talk about New York here in a second,
yeah, a
but
little bit.
we go from Cincinnati to the Mets. Looked up a little bit of like Kansas City barbecue. Now, obviously,
Yeah,
we talk about Kansas City
yeah.
barbecue.
We talked
Everybody's
about a
like,
little bit of yeah.
so I just put in like Kansas City outlandish barbecue foods.
Okay.
And John, I don't know if you've ever done this research before or not,
Well, not exactly.
but their rite of passage that they say on Google is that you have to eat a pig snout. They
Come
cook it.
again?
They cook it like pork rinds, apparently, and it is a in the description, John. I am not making this up. It says the pig is treated humanely as we take the snout and fry it like a pork rind, and this is what you eat. But then the very next thing also says like, so it's like one like snout, and then like the second is like the full pig head. What are we doing out in Kansas City, folks? Why are we eating that part of the pig, guys? Like, I know we want to be like using all of our resources, but there's a line that we're eating full pig head and
That's
snout.
yeah.
Like,
Wow.
I don't know if you've seen pigs actively like moving around, John, but they use their nose to get into some
Oh,
pretty gross things.
oh my God.
And
Yes.
I don't know that you can cook that out of it.
Man, that's ugh.
Yeah. So it's a rite of passage that I will not be partaking in. They can keep that. I will be cool saying that Cincinnati Dayton is my area. I don't need to claim
Oh my
Kansas City
gosh,
as
pig snout. Now,
yeah, no thank you.
where is that served? Tell me again, where did they, is it a
Um
particular,
there was a I think it's called like Joe's barbecue is what they said is where
um,
it's like is where it's known for. And I was
yeah,
like,
I think I've,
no.
yeah,
Like I've heard of Joe's. I've heard that it's good and like they have like crazy barbecue,
yeah,
but I'm not interested in that.
yuck, yuck.
That page of the menu can be kept in wherever they keep their deep dark secrets. I
So what
don't.
would be the worst, what would be like an item, okay, like, what would be something to help on another animal or something, like you wouldn't, because you hear about people eating, like, I
I
don't
don't
know,
understand the chicken feet. Have you
yeah,
seen that? I don't. What is there? What is there to eat? Nails, like fingernails, like their talons. What I don't get it. And like I don't know if you've seen it, but they like fry it.
yeah,
And so it's just a turkey's foot or a chicken's foot just
yeah.
there. At least if it's like the leg,
What's
like you
something
get in
that
like a
you've have you
KFC
eaten
bucket.
anything? Have you eaten anything crazy? Like something that you?
I
Yeah.
oh I ate. We went to New York City. Um, was it my junior year of high school?
Uh huh.
Junior or sophomore year of high school. We went to New York City with our school. We were doing a couple of things around the city, and we decided to go to Chinatown one night.
Yes.
And the person that we were in with just said, "Bring out the platter," and I'm like, "Cool. What? I don't know what this is gonna mean. I'm a little kid from Xenia, Ohio, who
Right.
hasn't seen any of this kind of stuff." And they put the platter down, and I'm like, "That is moving." It was
Really?
an octopus, like a
Oh my
tiny little
gosh.
octopus, and its tentacles are moving. And I said, that's a live animal. I'm not eating a live animal. Like that thing is the suction cups are suctioning. I don't want that at all." And they're like, this is duck. And I was like, you know what? I'll eat duck. I will eat the duck. I will gladly
Did
partake
anybody
in
eat
the
the
duck.
octopus?
My friend did. And he said it was disgusting.
Like it was
He was
still
like,
alive?
mm-hmm. But like, so like they gave it to us on the platter, but then in the middle of the platter
Okay.
had like a cooking area. And so
Okay.
they cooked it there first and then like gave it to him.
So
But
maybe
like
it had
it's
been dead
still
for a
like,
second. Yeah.
yeah, it's the tentacles are still like retracting back up into the thing. So like there's still something going on within that animal that you are putting in your mouth. And like my buddy, like just because it's one of those baby octopus, so it's not like a
Yeah.
giant thing. So he just
Okay.
like pops it in his mouth, and you just see him like chewing, and he's just chewing and chewing. And I'm like, dude, at some point, and
Well, then
I
you
look at
imagine.
him.
Can you imagine, like, if you're like survival of the fittest? Like, can you imagine one of us being like Tom Hanks, stranded out, cast away? Uh,
Eating cockroaches and
yeah.
bugs and stuff. No, nope, nope. That's the one time you could find me being a vegetarian. I am not eating bugs. That sounds terrible to me.
All right. So let's see here. My tribe is in New York, and the one thing found on their list of new items at the New York Yankee Stadium was they have a company in New York City that's called the Brooklyn Dumpling Shop. It's a more than one. There's several around the city area, and they have a website. You should check it out. But you can actually order the stuff online. Like if I could, you and I could order like tonight. And anyway,
Interesting.
they have little items there. They have chicken parm. They got a mac and cheese one. They got a bacon cheeseburger one. I saw they had a Philly steak one. But
I'm glad you remembered the word chicken parm tonight, John.
shit. And shout out to my daughter who actually is making chicken parm tonight
Nice.
with her boyfriend. Yeah, short story. Let's divert here. Okay, so yeah, here's how the story goes, folks. If you've listened to my podcasting over the years, the Johnny Cleveland podcast and many other shows here on the Fanatical Elves Network, you'll know that Johnny Cleveland here has moments where he can't talk and he forgets words and then he just creates words. My wife will oftentimes joke like, I just create stuff. And my kids, all the time I grew up, with my children, they'd be like, "What the hell's that word, Dad?" Like, "Oh, I just created it." No, so I made a chicken parm, but uh, it was ground chicken and did all these things, and so it was wonderful. Got to work yesterday, and the story goes that as I was trying to describe this meal prep, I was talking to my other colleagues that Troy knows. I just drew a blank. And I was saying stupid stuff like, chicken, it's spaghetti. And yeah, eventually was it I think Kara said chicken parmesan like 5 minutes later. And yeah, so Anywho,
Rolled right off the tongue tonight, John. You did a good job.
Brooklyn Dumpling Shop sells chicken parm and these little dumplings, so that'd be kind of neat to see.
That's
Now they do also have like an apple pie nacho.
ooh.
I know we've talked about ice cream stuff. They also have a thing that I mentioned a couple weeks ago. I think it was down in Houston, something similar to where they have a what looks like a bucket of chicken is actually a bucket of ice cream
Hmm.
made to look like chicken.
See, that stuff's you get a little bit borderline of like, what are we doing? Like, and why are we doing this? Like,
Mm.
great. I'm sure it tastes wonderful, but like, why are we making it look like other things? Ice cream can just be ice cream and be totally fine.
Yeah, but this is the day and age, Troy, right? I mean, anything goes. AI. I mean, we're just creating all sorts of shit. Just it's just
Well, have you seen the my daughter is obsessed with these like is it cake? Have you seen any of those shows?
no.
So they are cake designers that show up on I think it might be just a Netflix show. I can't remember if it was like Food Network or not. But they will take an item
Yeah.
like they had a competition with like five of them or whatever. They like rolled out all of this like gym equipment, so like a
Okay.
yoga mat, like a what's the weight, the kettlebell,
Chicken parm.
chicken farm, a kettlebell and like a jump rope and like those kind of things. And what they do is they have to make the cake look like those things,
Okay.
and then they put them on a podium up on the stage, and the guest celebrity guessers have to figure out which one is actually cake and which one is the actual thing.
That's funny.
And it's I mean they do like they cover it with the fondant, they do the airbrushing to make it look
Yeah.
real, like it looks real, like they do a really good job of it. But I again I'm like, but why
Well, now
why are
the
we doing
fad.
this?
Now there's a fad going on too on like TikTok and other social media platforms, like with the cake stuff, with the cake mixes. I actually
Hmm.
did one tonight, and let me tell you, I'm
Oh, did you do
Troy.
it?
Troy, I'm bringing in a treat to all of my colleagues
I
tomorrow.
love it. Yes.
You're gonna love it. It's Fanta orange pop and a
Yeah.
little box of yellow cake, and you mix all that good stuff together. And I did add an egg, and I added some butter. But
Mm.
it is, and then my wife, we got a nice buttercream topping. So I will be bringing that in for
So
breakfast tomorrow.
do you taste the orange flavoring?
You do, you actually do.
Okay.
Yeah, Grant and I had a slice after dinner tonight, and it was scrumptious. So
Interesting. Very
yes.
interesting.
Now my wife also, I also bought another package of strawberry cake mix, and
Mm.
she's got the idea we're going to mix it with real strawberries, and I'm going to do that some other day. So
Okay.
anyway, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a big fad right now. You know, you pour the Sprite in, or you do whatever thing you want,
Huh.
and
Interesting.
okay, so this leads us into our late night. Well, late night snacks. I saw some crazy ones earlier. I brought this up to Troy because I was thinking last night, I was up kind of late writing an article
Hmm.
and I got hungry. I only had a little bit of fish and broccoli. It wasn't enough, so like 10:30, 10 o'clock, here I am making myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a banana. Nothing spectacular, but some of those other late night snacks, is there anything out there like more outrageous that your
See,
go-tos?
here's where I get in trouble, John. Is we live real close to a Taco Bell, and
Yes, you do.
if you're talking late night snacks, I typically just run to Taco Bell, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
give me some cheesy potatoes, and give me like a chicken
Oh, you've mentioned it.
quesadilla.
Yes.
Like I, I can't help it. But if I'm trying to be good, if I'm trying to be like,
Yes.
okay, I'm not doing anything crazy. Um, I don't know what got me started on this, but you take a tortilla shell,
Yep.
put some chocolate chips on it, and
Okay.
you warm it up in the microwave,
Okay.
and then you put some peanut butter on there,
Oh yeah.
and then you just roll it up.
Ooh,
and eat it that way.
that's not a bad idea.
It's real good.
Wow. See, I'm a
The
peanut,
other
so my
the other
go-to
thing
is
that the other thing
always,
you can do
yeah.
is a little bit of honey on there instead of the
Oh
chocolate
yeah.
chips.
Yeah, no, my go-to has always been the waffles, just the
Hmm.
Lego, Eggo waffles, and with peanut butter. That's my always been my go-to since I was a kid, and I still do it to this day.
My dad puts peanut butter on everything. Pop tarts, waffles, pancakes.
Yeah.
If it's something that you could put peanut butter on that would be halfway decent, he's putting peanut butter on it.
Now, have you ever tried using, not to go, I mean, I'm going back and forth here, but we were just talking about cakes. Have you ever tried using the cake mix to make pancakes? I saw some guy on TikTok doing that the other day.
No, we did the other day. What did we? Where were we at? Was it? I forget, but we didn't want to mess with like the full pancake mix stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
it
would
was when
you?
we went to um shoot, where did we go on our vacation to? I don't even remember. Whatever.
You
Oh,
were
the
up in New York.
Adirondacks. Yeah, we
Yeah.
went up to the
Yeah.
Adirondacks. We bought the muffin mix and used the muffin
Yes.
mix, like a
Yes.
blueberry muffin mix for
Yes.
our pancakes. It was
Yeah.
perfect. It
Yeah.
worked great.
Yeah. All right. Well, then the other one I saw tonight, just before we started, was they did vanilla wafers with cheese and honey ham. And the husband was like, "You got to try this, wife." And the wife was like, "No way, that just sounds totally disgusting. A vanilla wafer with a piece of cheese and ham." And they did the video, and at the end, the wife's was like, "It actually worked," she said. So, but you would not
That's a
do that.
that's a rage bait video. They want people to get mad. Like
There's
that's disgusting. Have you ever seen the guy on TikTok that makes fun of the like really bad recipes on TikTok?
no.
So he finds these, I don't know where he finds them
Oh, is
at.
that the one dude that like, yeah, he'll like show the video of somebody doing something, and then he does.
He's got like the glasses or whatever,
No,
and
okay, maybe this is somebody different. Okay,
he always rates them like 0 out of 10. I would probably try this kind of thing, is what he says.
right, right,
But it's always these people that have like the industrial size can of like nacho cheese and like the industrial like, and they're like stabbing it from the bottom to like make the suction go away.
yeah,
And it is just like some of the videos he shows on there, it looks like somebody was just like, I ate 3 nights of Taco Bell in a row, and then I put the outer what left my body into a pan and put it in the oven. It is disgusting looking, and he just rips them a new one because they're like doing all these steps and doing all these things, and they're like, oh yeah, you got to put it in the oven for 350, and he goes, you could put that in the oven for 500 degrees and it wouldn't make a difference in what the outcome of this recipe is going to be.
oh, that's good. Oh,
He's hysterical. But um man, every once in a while he gets this, he'll find one that's like actually like really good. But man, the majority of them are just like, why are people putting these recipes on the internet? This is unnecessary for everyone involved.
do you remember when the whole? I think I mentioned this one time to you before, but when all and you're younger than me, so you probably participated in this, but just the idea of food and what we're talking about and TikToks and all this stuff. Do you remember when like that started the whole idea of taking a photo of your food
For the
and
gram, you got to take it for the gram, John.
take it what?
You got to take it for the Instagram. You
Right.
got to take a picture for the
But
Instagram.
that
And
started,
heaven forbid you can't eat before you take the picture, and then you
but I
ruin the
had never,
presentation.
I mean, this, I don't know, was it like 15 years ago maybe that this thing started? And I
Yeah,
remember the
somewhere around there.
first time I was at a sports bar, it was the Browns backers, it was on a Sunday. And one of the kids, one of the teenagers of one of the guys that goes to the games all the time was there. And all of a sudden I see him pause when the food came over, and he took a, I don't know if we had phones then, I'm assuming, but he took a picture I was food. And I was just so like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
and now it's just so crazy. And now me, oh, and us old people are doing the same damn thing after we cook a meal at the house, or I cook a barbecue, or I'm talking about the Johnny Cleveland Diner, and I'm
Yeah.
spitting out pictures of me. Hey, I'm here at the grill. Look at me.
Yeah, it's just I don't know the way that society changes with some of the trends and all the different things that you do, like that people do now. I don't know if you see this, and this may segue into our next conversation, but um, all of like the food challenge videos, like all these
Yes.
people are now posting themselves trying all these different food challenges, and
Yeah.
can I do this in this amount of time? And there's one guy that I think he hasn't outright said, and I think his TikTok account is like Zach is back or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure he's in Ohio, and I think he's up in Cleveland-ish area.
Okay.
But this guy tries to finish meals in certain amount of bites. So like
Okay.
he did the McDonald's
Yeah, was it the
$6
big?
meal,
Okay, wasn't there like
and
a Big Mac one where
yeah, try
he's?
to do a eat a Big Mac in a minute.
That's right, a minute. Okay,
And he did that one. But this dude will put like a half of a Chipotle burrito in his mouth and take that as one bite and then chew it all up. And it looks painful.
right.
But here I am watching it.
Well, you think about it though, like there were shows that started all this, like Man versus Food.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very popular show. I don't know how long
Mm-hmm.
that's been on and when it started, but I remember being glued to or turning on the Food Network just to watch that because
Mm-hmm.
it's funny how it's taken a while, but now everybody is doing these challenges, or a lot of people are doing these taste tests. That's what I get on my feed. The people that get the food from the
Yeah.
restaurants, and then they're sitting in their cars, and
Mm-hmm.
so many people do that.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the new Burger King sandwich. Let's take a bite and see. Well, it tastes like Burger King, or
There
uh,
is a guy, and I may have to send you this guy. He's not on, well, he's on TikTok, but his main platform is YouTube. And God, what is the guy? Joe is Hungry, I think is his name.
okay,
Whenever anything new comes out, he will go to the restaurant and order four of them,
okay,
and he will take them back to his house. He
yeah,
will eat one in the car before he goes back to the house,
okay,
but he will go down to his house and record a video of him and John. He takes it out of the wrapper,
yeah,
he weighs the wrapper,
okay.
and then he takes the weight of the item minus the wrapper and makes sure that the restaurants are making them to the weight order of what they say that they're going to be. And it is John. I'm pretty sure the guy is like in between our ages,
Yes.
and he does the craziest cuts, and like he has to have like four different cameras, and he's like looking up here, looking over here, looking
Yeah.
here.
Oh my
And I'm like,
gosh.
dude, the production value that you are doing in this is not matching anything else that you were doing in these videos. But he is like dissecting these like new sandwiches, but he also like temperature tests them. Like he has like a meat thermometer that he
Right.
like
I've seen
pokes
some of these
into the,
guys.
and I'm
This
like,
old guy that does that, he'll order the food and then
yes,
he drives off, he parks, and then
yes.
he takes the temperature of, and
And it's got to be 140 degrees or hotter,
right,
or
who's the
that's
whatever
not.
that guy's
Yeah,
name is, right? You know
yes,
what I'm
that's the. But he does all of this stuff, and then he goes, now it's time for the Joe is Hungry taste test, and then he like the way that he
right,
bites into sandwiches drives me insane. He's like,
right.
I'm like, dude, you don't have to like full body bite a Whopper. Like that is not necessary at all,
Oh
ever.
my gosh. Oh man.
But then I'm also following a guy that's down in Cincinnati who's got this blonde mullet. He's currently
Oh, I think
going
I've started following him
he's
too.
going back. He's
Ponderosa?
going Yes, he's
The guy
going
who's
to
trying to get
food
sick.
buffets. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's going to food buffets
I
until he
saw.
gets food poisoning.
Yes, he was. I just saw the one tonight where he goes to the
Oh
Ponderosa, and
shoot! And he always rates everything 69 out of 10. It's the
is that right?
best.
Well, and then there's these other ones where there's like this one guy saw, and I've seen other people do it, where he went to Burger King, I think, or I think it was Burger King, and he wanted just the hamburger patties. He says, I want four Whopper patties, just the patties, and people are all, and so then he buys them, and then the whole thing is about saving carbs, or not eating all the other stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, that just seems ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's
I
taking it to another
just
level.
um man, I
Those are
there's
some good
sometimes
examples. Yeah.
there's sometimes some things that I'm like, man, could I do something like that? Like, could I just go around a food buffet and be like, here's day
Well,
10 of me
I've
trying
done
a
like
food
I used
buffet
to.
until I get food
You.
poisoning?
Well, so now here's the deal, guys. We are talking about food challenges, and Troy and I have been talking about doing some of these or taste tests locally here around Columbus and some different places. And I know we have some of our own students who are encouraging us to come to one of the local chicken new restaurants here in the Gahanna area. We would hopefully try to do that. But one of the other challenges we were just talking about earlier, and I think you were here there with your family, is that we have a place called the Gahanna Grill, and they have a burger. They have a typical. They have a famous burger there at Gahanna Grill called the Beanie Burger, and it's the name Beanie is for. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Troy. It's for Beanie Wells, Ohio State, a former football player, and they call it the
Hmm.
Beanie Burger, and it's a huge half-pound hamburger with cheese. They add onions, um, and coleslaw, your favorite,
It's
along with
that, John.
bacon.
That is the one place that I will eat their coleslaw.
Yes, so it's all
It's
packaged
so
together.
good.
It is, and their fries, they have a really good fry
Hmm.
at Gahanna Grill. And we
Yep.
were there earlier today. Some of our colleagues went, and Troy had gone earlier, like I said, with his family, and noticed this too in the menu. And then we saw it in the menu today. There is a Gahanna Grill Beanie Burger Challenge, which you want to tell people what that is?
So it's a triple beanie burger challenge. It is three
Triple
patties on a sandwich.
half pound patties.
That sounds crazy. But and it's $30 to try it. But if you do it, you get your picture up on their wall of fame. You get a T-shirt, and I'm like, you know what? For $30, I'll give it a shot.
So we're thinking that we may do this. We're going to try to plan a time where we can do this. We'll probably record it. I'm thinking we could, somebody could record it while we're trying to not die. And here's the thing, Troy. Like, folks, if you're watching us or listen to us later on Apple and Spotify, anywhere you listen to your podcasts, this burger, like today, the one that I ate, just the normal beanie burger, it
Hmm.
is again a half-pound burger, big ass burger. Then you got the bacon, a layer of bacon, a layer of onion, a layer of coleslaw, cheese. Am I missing anything?
No, that's it. It's so good.
But it is huge, and I mean, you talk about opening your jaw.
Hmm.
I had it
I
took
got the
everything for me to.
but they cook their stuff just so well. Like I when we went, my wife really loves their chicken wraps. Is
Yes,
a,
I
is a
think
big
Amber
fan of
got
them.
that today. Yeah.
And I love their mushroom and Swiss burger. Um, but they cook the burgers so well. Like it is. I like bit into it and I was like, "Where's the?" I didn't remember adding bacon to this, and I'm like looking at them, trying to figure out like, "Where's this bacon flavor coming from?" It's just the way they char their burgers. It is
Yeah,
so good. The way they cook their fries, like you said, their burgers are always so good.
yeah.
Um, I'll every once in a while get the jalapeno burger that they have. Same thing,
Mhm.
just so good. They do it really well over there.
So I think we're gonna do this challenge soon. So when we do that, We'll probably produce it, share it out on one of our upcoming shows, and we're going to walk away with our pride, with a tummy ache.
I might
Uh,
roll away. I don't know if I'll walk, but I might. Somebody might have to roll me out of there.
Now you have do they give you a time limit on that, or
I don't remember seeing one. No,
okay? So you
they
could eat
might
it with
though.
a you could just eat it with a fork.
I mean, I wouldn't. I don't see when I see those food eating challenges and they start like dissecting it and stuff. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
that like takes away from it. Until they're at like the 9 patties and they're like trying to. I'm like, no, okay,
So
that one you
how
can
do you
take
think?
apart.
Okay, so how do you think you would go about eating this burger that we're
I
talking
would
about?
I would smash that thing down and try to just eat it all in one. Like I eat it as a burger.
You think you could get your mouth around that whole damn thing? I mean, that's it. I mean,
John. That's a very personal question you're asking there. We were talking about food here.
I knew I was gonna open myself up. Well, wait a second. I'm gonna watch what I say there. It is after 11. No, it's only 10:42,
Yeah,
folks. So
we're after
we're
dark. We are after dark. But yeah, I think if you smash that thing down enough, you could probably eat it like a regular cheeseburger.
uh, it was. I don't know. I well, anyway, we're gonna try this challenge. I think it's gonna be one hell of an effort. Uh, no predictions.
Don't eat for a day and a half before we go.
We got to find out some other challenges. So if anybody knows of any other food challenges around the local area, let us know.
There's got to be a ton. With the
Yeah,
amount of restaurants that are around, there's got to be a lot.
we should
So
start
yeah,
doing some
if anybody
research
knows
on
of
that.
any,
Yeah,
push it
that'd
our
be
way.
good. Okay. Any final
Not
thoughts?
not the super hot spicy challenges. That's no thank you. I'm
No.
not. I
Are
like
you up for
spicy
some
food, but I don't like that type of
pizza?
spice.
Up for some
Oh yeah.
pizza? Yeah.
Well,
We
I
should
don't
do
know.
like a 4th of July hot dog. We should
I would.
a Nathan's hot dog contest. We should,
Oh my gosh. No, thank you. That would be real bad, John.
yeah.
That would be bad for
And you could,
everyone
hey,
involved.
have you drank your chocolate milk tonight?
No, it's still at the school. I'm not bringing that stuff home. I might have it tomorrow for when we Pop Tart, but
Is it still
I forget that
good?
it's there.
See that we have this small fridge where we work, and like there have been items left in there for I don't know
Oh,
forever.
John, before you got there were things left in there years.
So what you're telling me is I've okay,
You've helped clean that out
great.
in ways that it had never been cleaned out before. I have my own fridge in my office, so I never put anything in there. And then we walk into that part of our office and we're like, that doesn't smell right. And then we got to figure out what it is that's taking up the office space.
Well, all right. So you're gonna drink chocolate milk tomorrow morning with a Pop Tart.
If it's not chunky, man, nope, that even grossed me out. I shouldn't have said that.
No, you should not have. Are you gonna go Are you gonna go eat a midnight snack now? I think you should try
um,
some cheese, honey ham, and some vanilla wafers.
it just sounds like you're so close to a Lunchable. Like, just make it a Ritz cracker. Why are we throwing in the vanilla? Why are we throwing in a vanilla wafer? Like, leave that to like the whipped cream or the ice cream. Like, don't put ham and cheese.
Now the yeah, never mind. Okay, never
Ugh.
mind. All right. Any final thoughts, Troy, on tonight's episode?
John, we better end this before we go
Yeah, we've
down.
covered about every side of everything tonight. So uh stay tuned for our Gehanna Grill Beanie Burger Challenge, which will be coming up sometime in the next couple of weeks.
Hey,
Uh
we're almost to the end of the year, John. So we've got all the time in the world.
right? Yeah, we have our 6-week vacation. That
Man.
used to be like, well, Mickey has what 10 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I do the math, I'm no genius, but I. All right.
uh
Have we decided when the graduation date is? By the way,
Gee, man, Christmas.
I've. Anyway,
I
that's.
think as far as I know, next year it is on a Sunday. I don't know why everybody was up in arms about it, but it is a Sunday
Oh, I was referring
at the
to our
shop.
transcripts and our graduation.
Oh,
That topic, but That's above
I,
our pay grade.
who knows, man? I feel like some of the people that make some of the decisions that are not even within our building make decisions that I'm pretty sure they just flip a coin and they're like, all right, we're going with this one this time.
Yes. Oh, I have one more thing I wanted to bring up to you before we let everybody go because I know Troy really loves sheets. Um,
Ooh,
but now up they came out today or yesterday. I think I've mentioned this to you
I
already,
know.
but they're going to
I
build a
think I know where you're
Bucky.
going here.
Well, where am I going? Bucky's.
Bucky's, yep.
They're building a Bucky's. But here's my question for you. And I read this article earlier this evening, and I thought this was interesting. So they're building a Bucky's up in the Mansfield area. Actually, the off the exit that I used to get off of when I used to work at a school district up there, Madison. Um, I didn't leave on great terms. So if anybody's from Madison listening, I still love you guys. Anywho, they're going to be building a Bucky's right there. Okay, it's that next exit beyond, right before the Worcester exit on 30,
Mm.
and it's supposed to open by 2028. They said. Did you read this part where they said that Bucky's is going to front? I want to say $15 million. Did you read this part? And that in return, they're going to put a 2% tax on anything not gasoline on the customer that will go back to Bucky's so that Bucky's then will get that $15 million back in about 20 years. I thought that was an interesting
Huh.
business.
I feel like I've heard that they do that. Like that's their
That's
typical.
what they do. Okay.
Hmm.
Where do you think I
Um,
was going with that
man,
story?
the Mansfield's getting the Bucky's.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I, John, there are some things at Bucky's that will change your life. Have you
I
had
think,
Bucky's
well,
before?
no. See that? No.
Oh, yeah, there are some things. It is a
That needs to be one of those. If we're still doing the podcast 3 year or 2 years from now, we'll have to make a journey up there. We can
John. I can't wait that long for their brisket burrito. It is. I'm not joking when I say it's life changing.
really. It's that. No, I thought the biggest
We
thing about Bucky's was that they're clean restrooms.
I mean, the place is immaculately run. Like it is
Okay,
clean. They do a great job. But so I'd never been to one before, and we drove down to Orlando this past summer, and I was like, there's got to be one that is semi close to the way that we were going. We have to stop.
sure.
And I had never been to one before, so I'm like, let's
Yeah.
find one. The one that I guess like everybody goes to is like as soon as you cross the Ohio Kentucky border, there's one like right in Kentucky. I think
Okay.
it's on 71 or 75. I can't remember which one.
Okay.
That one was a disaster. There was so many cars in line to
Okay.
even just get into the place.
Yeah.
So we skipped that one, went on down to another one. It was so good. I don't even remember what was in it, but it was like I was
So it was a
driving,
taco
eating
you
the
got,
thing, a
or
burrito,
a burrito?
and I looked at Mickey while I was driving. I was like, I might have to pull over and just eat this because it is so good. It's distracting me from driving.
Yeah.
It was so good. And Mickey was
Okay.
like, "Oh, you've got to get something different on the way back up." And I was like, "No, I
What
absolutely
did
do
she
not."
get? What did Mickey get?
She got another burrito. I think it was like their chicken, like pulled chicken or something like that. And I mean, it was decent, but man, that brisket was phenomenal.
Did you get anything different on the way back?
Oh no, nope.
You got it
It was too
again?
good. Oh yeah, I got it again. It was
Did
so
you
good the
really?
second time
Yeah.
too.
I always wonder because sometimes the food isn't exactly the same. Like one time you might get it maybe because you had a cocktail or a drink, and it just
Hmm.
tasted so much better.
Well, and they make everything fresh. So like
Yes.
they're constantly like I mean, they were running out of the burritos the
Do you
second
have
time
any
we went through.
Bucky paraphernalia? Did you buy any?
I do have a Bucky's
Did you get a hat?
water.
You didn't get a hat?
No, I didn't. None of the hats looked great. I have a Bucky T-shirt and I got a Bucky water jug. I'll bring it into work tomorrow.
Okay.
That's the only thing. And Mickey bought like
My
we bought
only
like a pillow.
I sat on a flight one time, maybe a year. It was a year ago when I went down to Florida for that trip with the naval base. I sat next to
Mm.
a lady that worked at a Bucky's, and she was going off to help open another one up. I think it might have been the one up in Dayton, maybe, or maybe
Yeah,
it was
the
somewhere else, or maybe it was one
Huber
outside
Heights.
of, yeah, or there was one outside of, I think it was outside of Maryland or somewhere in Maryland that she was helping open up. Maybe that was
Oh,
where it was around Baltimore. We talked about Baltimore earlier, so
interesting.
yeah. Well, I will have to we have to put that on the calendar and see where they're at with with that.
Going back to the sheets thing though, I talked
Yes,
to some of my friends at the pool. Not was it earlier? Yeah, it had been earlier this week. And they go, Troy, are you going to like, are people going to run into you in Gehenna and be like, that's the sheets guy? And I go, I hope so.
yes,
Either
yes.
that, or they're going to be like, ooh, there's the sheets guy.
There is the Sheets guy. No, oh my gosh. Yeah, if you listen to our shows, you know that Troy has uh quite the reputation. There's no look, double sheets, we gotta have sheets. I mean, sheets are
I
great.
don't. How many times in a Facebook group can you ask what is going into a location within a town the size of Gehenna? The amount of times that I've been able to answer sheets on Facebook posts is really not. I mean, it's surprising the amount of times I've been able to do it.
Yes. Oh
And
yeah.
now I've got you, and I've got one
Carrie,
of my other friends who
got Carrie on
will
there.
tag me in posts and be like, Troy, you haven't commented yet.
There was something earlier today. There was a post I was looking at it earlier. No, I can't think of what it was. Anyway, have you been
Oh,
in the one? Have you
I
been in
almost saw
the
the
one over on the
one.
other side of town then?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I went in there. It was
Do
when
they
we
have the
had the.
milkshakes and stuff? Can you order the milkshakes?
Mhm.
Hmm.
When I went in there, it was the when we had that really bad storm and a bunch of power was out all over the place.
Oh yeah.
I went over there. They had power and got some ice and stuff for our frozen stuff. But
Okay.
um, I'll go there every once in a while, get gas when it's cheaper and everything too.
Yeah. Thanks for those cheap gas prices.
Hmm. Thanks for the cheap gas and
Hey,
the good
shout
food.
out to Sherry's Licorice, Jumbo Licorice. My wife. Have you ever heard of this place?
No,
No.
I don't
You,
like licorice.
you don't like licorice?
You
What's
know,
wrong with you, Troy?
the only time I will eat licorice, and this sounds like the craziest thing you've ever heard, but after you go to all you can eat wings at Quaker Steak and Lube, they give you Twizzlers, and that's the only time I'll eat a Twizzlers or licorice is after I've eaten about 50 wings, and I'm like, oh, I need something else.
Oh my gosh. So
It's the only time.
Cherry licorice. My wife found it online. They're out of Goshen, Ohio. Now I've heard of Goshen, Indiana, but not
Hmm.
Goshen, Ohio.
Goshen is southwest Ohio,
Okay.
kind of towards south central Ohio.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like
Well,
I don't know,
Sherry,
probably
if you're
30 minutes
listening,
east of Cincinnati.
we'd love for you to sponsor us here at the Stadium Mustard Cincinnati Chili Show. We will. I just bought 5 bags of your wonderful licorice. So if you'd like to support us here on the Fanatical Elves Network, Sherry, let us know. We love your licorice, or I do. Troy doesn't like you, so I'm sorry about that. But
Make a better product, Sherry.
hey, I'm trying to get some sponsorship here.
My bad, Sherry. Love you. I bet you're a
Yeah, come
wonderful
on
lady
now. Yeah, all right.
that makes a lot of great candy or something.
Well,
Things.
folks, thanks for tuning into the show this evening. Look forward to catching up with everybody again next time. We'll let you know when that next show is. We're gonna do the Beanie Burger Challenge at some point, hopefully. And thanks for sticking with us through all our crazy chat. So, Troy, any final thought before we let the fine people go?
We'll look forward to scheduling time for the Beanie Burger Challenge. I'll see if I can fit my mouth around it, and we'll go from there.
All right. Everybody, keep eating those delicious items out there. Keep eating, keep eating, keep eating. Uh,
Skyline chili dip for the win.
Skyline chili. Go find yourself a tortilla, some chocolate chips, and some peanut butter and roll it up.
Mm, yep, you
See
will
y'all
not regret
later.
it.
Go Browns. Go Cleveland. Go Bungles. The music's playing right now, Trey.
Oh, perfect. All right, let me bounce my head.